In the Fluid Grid layout site, I've copied the videos folder from the multimedia folder of the course assets, and that gave me 3 different copies of the same video in different formats: MP4, OGV and WebM. The different formats are needed for cross-browser compatibility. Although all modern browsers support the HTML5 video element, they don't all support the same video format. And even older browsers such as Internet Explorer 8 and earlier don't even understand the video element. So for their benefit, I went into Flash Professional CC and created this Swift movie, bigsur_loader.swift, which will load the MP4 version of the video. This Swift down here with the long name contains the controller for this loader Swift. If you didn't follow the lesson on creating the Flash fallback loader, you can find copies of these 2 Swift movies in the multimedia folder of the course assets. You don't need to copy this bigsur_loader.fla. It was the file that was used to create these 2 Swifts. So with that explanation out of the way, let's insert an HTML5 video. I'm going to put it at the end of this paragraph here. Click at the end of the paragraph, select the P in the tag selector and press the right arrow key once to make sure that my insertion point is outside the paragraph. Then in the Insert panel, make sure that Media is selected in the menu at the top, and then select HTML5 Video. Dreamweaver inserts this little placeholder here, and you set all the details in the Property Inspector. The most important one, of course, is Source. I'm going to click the Browse icon alongside. There's my Videos folder. I'm going to select bigsur.mp4 and click OK. And Dreamweaver has recognized that the other 2 formats in there belong together, so it's populated the AltSource1 and AltSource2 fields. This works only if the videos are in the same folder and if they share the same base name. Dreamweaver doesn't detect the width and height of a video. Normally you might want to enter the width and height in here, but I'm in a Fluid Grid layout, so I'm going to leave these empty so that the video will expand and contract with the size of the browser viewport. This poster field is for an image to be displayed before the video starts playing. That can be quite useful if your video begins with black or it's got a blank screen. Mine begins with real video, so it's not really necessary. But if you want to use a poster, of course it should be the same size and in the same aspect ratio as the video itself. Fallback text is for text to be displayed in older browsers that don't support the video element. But I've got Flash Fallback, so I'm going to click this Browse icon, and then I need to go to the Videos folder, and it's this one here, bigsur_loader.swift, that I need to select. You don't need to select this one for the skin. That will be loaded automatically by the other Swift, so just click OK. Let's look at the other options at the bottom left. The Controls checkbox is selected by default. That ensures that the default controls of the browser for start, stop and maybe also for controlling the volume are displayed. If you select Loop, the video plays endlessly. If you select Autoplay, it plays automatically as soon as the page is loaded. And if you select Muted, it cuts the sound. A technique that's sometimes used by advertising videos is to set both autoplay and muted. That means that the video starts playing as soon as the page is loaded, but there's no sound. And the theory, at least, is that's less annoying than having a video that plays with loud sound. My preference is to let the visitor choose, so leave autoplay deselected. This preload option here determines how much of the video is preloaded by the browser. Let's just open Split View for a moment. In this version of Dreamweaver that I'm using, it says preload none, but if you look in the opening video tag, the preload attribute isn't there. So this gives the rather misleading impression that preload will be set to none. In fact, to set preload to none, you need to select one of the other options first, either auto or metadata, and then change it to none. As none suggests, if you set it to none, nothing will be preloaded. If you set it to auto, basically it's left up to the browser to decide what to do. And if you set it to metadata, the browser is meant to just download sufficient data to work out whether it can actually play the video that you've got. I'm going to set it to metadata. So let's close split view and turn on live view to test the video. It's loaded in live view. There are the controls, and it plays just beautifully. To finish off this page, all that's needed is to create a style rule to center the video and set a minimum and maximum width. But that's basically all you need to do to insert an HTML5 video. Put your insertion point where you want the video to be, then from the Insert panel with the Media section selected, select HTML5 video. That inserts a small placeholder, and then you set all the details here in the Property Inspector.